Is Bitcoin about to shock everybody in the market with a big move to the upside despite the heavy bearish sentiment all around on crypto Twitter and social media as we face probably a significant move by Bitcoin to the upside. And so, welcome to my latest YouTube Bitcoin analysis, which I think you will like, if not love it, because I have some great news for you. So, let's dive in. I want you to remind that none of my analysis is financial advice, as I'm not a financial advisor. So please always do your own research before taking action on any trades which you're taking. So yeah, so let's dive in. I'm pretty excited. Why? I'm gonna show you right now. You have here the daily chart of Bitcoin. I'm using Bitstamp as my reference. So in general, you can see that Bitcoin has successfully built the fourth time a support at or around 38,000, which you can see here in the white circle, which is the fourth one. You can see on or around between 27th and 28th of February, between 7th and 8th of March, and again between 13th and 14th March has been successful support for Bitcoin around 38,000. And again, Bitcoin has built support at 38,000 on April 26th and April 27th yesterday. And this is actually huge. And why is it huge? Because Bitcoin is still setting higher lows, which is crucial to show strength in the market. And we are still above this upwards or higher lows trend line, the green one here. I mean, like, let's say way above it. So this is really great for Bitcoin to stay strong and build more buying pressure in the upcoming days and maybe weeks. So when we dive or go have a look at the MACD chart, you can clearly see the moving averages are moving around minus 900, which is good for a trend reversal and also important. And as well, you can see that the volume candles are getting smaller, also a sign for a potential or most likely trend reversal for Bitcoin. And if you go back to, let's say, early December, like 6th December, the moving averages were way below zero or neutral position, like around minus 2,600 or even more, and went to the upside. So this is also like the indication of a probable comeback by Bitcoin despite all the negative sentiment, let's say, in the market. And also, as I earlier mentioned on crypto Twitter, for example. So what also is good is the RSI, stock RSI chart. So it's moving around 41 in average, which is below 50, but this is also, or leaves some space for buying pressure to be built, which is good. And on the RSI 14, we have like a similar value, is around 44.70 currently, also below 50 in the middle. which many technical analysts are saying everything below 50 is like more bearish than bullish, and if it's moving above 50, it's more bullish than bearish. Yeah, some kind of, this is true, but I'm not focusing that much on this aspect myself. For me, it's more important to see the tendency of the selling and buying pressure here. So it's definitely helping for Bitcoin to build new buying pressure, and helping for a trend reversal. So what I'm looking into the next few days, or maybe even weeks into May, is quite optimistic, because I can see a big chance Bitcoin getting back above 40K and also back into this triangle, as you can see here. I would love to see Bitcoin close the daily candle, today's daily candle, above $40,100, which would be just inside this triangle, and this would definitely help for gain confidence for buyers in the market. So I'd love to see that, and if Bitcoin will successfully close the daily candle inside this triangle, I can see a big potential to a push towards this upper downwards trend line, which is a red one here, and the resistance likely waiting around 42,500. And I can see also a real chance Bitcoin pushing through this resistance, and why is, or I'm gonna explain you right now. When you go back to March 14th, which is 2 weeks ago from here, if you compare the MACD also on March 14th, it was like just slightly below the neutral level, or okay, let's say about minus 400, minus, yeah, in the minus. And if you compare it to today's situation on the MACD, it's clearly more, or the double in the minus than it was 2 weeks ago. And this is really helping to build massive momentum for buying pressure and the trend reversal as well. So this is why I see a realistic chance for Bitcoin to push and break this resistance line here, which would be really massive for Bitcoin in the future, in the near future. So this is definitely something to have an eye on, and also why I'm really optimistic towards Bitcoin within the near future. As I said, excuse me, multiple days, and of course several weeks into May. Yeah, so look out for that, and if Bitcoin will successfully do so, as I mentioned, and also even cross that heavy resistance here at this upper downward trend line, yeah, I can see Bitcoin even go to test the 45,000 resistance, or 44,500 is also a massive resistance, which you can see here, topping out around here, also here, and as well back on January 12th. You have to really keep that in mind, that resistance now around 44,500, of course. And if Bitcoin can really break and push through this resistance, we can expect big things. But most are expecting at the latest then a rejection with a big dump to the downside, and maybe test, I don't know, levels around 45,000 or between even 33, lower 30s, 33,000 and 34,000, which is of course possible, and a realistic scenario which I must say, and you have to be prepared for it, in my personal opinion. But before this might kick in, we can have lots of upwards movement and can make some money in the market. So yeah, for me it's looking great. And one thing to keep in mind, as you might have noticed yourself, the heavy correlation by Bitcoin with SPX, S&P 500. Many influencers are saying also Nasdaq, of course, which is true. And this is why I want to show you for a minute the SPX charts also on the daily. Is important to bounce here at the current support level 4,160 points, and there's a realistic chance for SPX to bounce here because the MACD is also oversold, as you can see here, and the stock RSI selling pressure has really been pushing and is currently moving around 5.5, which is very low and clearly below the bottom level at 20. So a true chance for a trend reversal here for incoming buying pressure on the SPX. And as well on the RSI 14 is just a little bit above the bottom level, moving around 33, and 30 is the bottom level. So also a big chance for a trend reversal and incoming buying pressure after a selling period since March 29th. So keep an eye also on the SPX. It is is a leader actually for Bitcoin right now, and I can see S&P 500 bounce here, as I previously mentioned, is a pretty realistic scenario. So yeah, that's why I'm quite optimistic for Bitcoin in the near future, and a reason to get excited. So that's it for today's analysis on Bitcoin. I wish you just the best and a lot of success trading. And yeah, stay tuned to my next video. Thank you for watching.